Hello, everybody, and welcome to the X Factor with the Crypto Hipster, episode 37. 37. April 28, 2023. Thank you for joining in. And the X Factor is a show where I bring you every week where we cover the global news and crypto and blockchain all over the place. And we cover the hot topic items, and sifting through what hot topic items are sometimes a unique challenge, but today we have an awesome lineup of information from this past week. And without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to talk first about a study. Okay, and this study was done by BitGet Research, and it's really interesting. It says 46% of millennials across major economies own crypto. Okay, 46%. I thought it might be more, but a study featured over 250,000 respondents across 26 countries in major age groups, in 4 age groups, actually. And 46% of millennials across populated countries such as the US, China, Japan, Germany, Indonesia, and Nigeria own crypto. The study, conducted between July 2022 and January 2023, that was published just this morning by BitGet, featured approximately 250,000 adults, 26 countries, 10,000 respondents per country. 46% of millennials responded they own crypto, compared with 25% of Gen X, which is my group, and 21% of Gen Z. I thought it'd be more because they grew up there. A lot of them are digital natives, but it's 21%. And then 8% baby boomers, which is, a lot, more than I expected there. The confidence interval for the study is 95% with a margin of error of 0.1%. In 44% of boomers, 6% of Gen X, 27% millennials, and 36% of Gen Z said they consider cryptocurrency regulation an important factor when voting for political candidates. Other studies suggest Gen Z and millennials tend to have the highest adoption rates for crypto out of all population groups. That makes sense. In October 2022, a Charles Schwab survey revealed almost 50% of Gen Z and millennials want crypto in retirement funds. That's smart. The survey also found that 43% of Gen Z and 47% of millennials already invest in crypto outside their 401k retirement accounts. That's also smart. Looks like the younger generations are making wise, smart decisions. And as always, let me know your thoughts. Okay. Now, US. We're going to take a little different slant on the US today. We're not going to trash and bash people who deserve to be trashed and bashed. On this show, we're going to focus on the news today. Sorry about that. But there is some news in the US. The first one is this. Binance US backs out of the $1 billion Voyager asset purchase and blames the regulatory environment. Okay. Binance US has backed out of its agreement to purchase $1 billion of bankrupt crypto brokerage Voyager Digital and their assets, the company announced in a tweet. It laid the blame for the move on the hostile and uncertain regulatory climate in the United States. Voyager, the Voyager Official Committee of Unsecured Creditors, and the U.S. government reached an agreement on April 19 for the purchase to go through. The deal had been blocked on March 28 by an emergency stay granted by a judge while the U.S. Department of Justice appealed Voyager's bankruptcy plan. Voyager and Voyager Official Committee of Unsecured Creditors both tweeted their dismay at the development shortly before Binance US made its announcement. The Voyager Official Committee of Unsecured Creditors said, the committee is incredibly disappointed with this decision and is investigating potential claims against Binance US. Do those claims belong against Binance US, or do they belong, I don't know, elsewhere? Like maybe some kind of rogue government agency that's overstepping their authority? Let me know your thoughts on that. Okay. And then the other piece of news that I have in the US is, wait for it, the Utah DAO Act. What? There's a Utah DAO Act? Okay. It went from an idea to a piece of legislation. Wow. Okay, let's see. The Utah State Legislature passed the Utah DAO Act, granting legal recognition and limited liability protections to decentralized autonomous organizations in the state. David Lemke, Chief Financial Officer at Crypto Giddy and member of Utah's Blockchain and Digital Innovation Task Force, and Utah Representative Trevor Lee both authored the bill before it was presented to the Utah State Legislature. They say, our goal was to create a regulatory framework that supports the growth and development of DAOs in Utah. Lemke said, the act allows DAOs to become a legal entity, apply for a tax ID number, open a bank account, own property, deal with non-DAO businesses, run payroll, and exist in the real world as opposed to on-chain only. That, and there's a whole history here of how the Utah DAO Act came to be, but it's the second state with this kind of law. Wyoming was first. I interviewed Mr. Shimoni, Obi Shimoni, about, DAO is in Wyoming like 2 years ago on the Crypto Hipster podcast. And this is a step in the right direction, showing that DAOs can do the same thing that corporations can and are not subject to favoritism or who you know. It's what you know that's important. So that said, let's go to warmer weathers here in North America. Stay in North America right now. We are going to go to South America next, but let's stay here because the Bahamas are a really nice place to go on vacation. Let's see. The Securities and Exchange Commission in the Bahamas presents a comprehensive new draft of their Digital Assets Act. They published this draft of the DARE bill on April 25th, which was Tuesday. The sweeping bill will undergo a consultation period with the goal of enacting it by the end of the quarter. The 2023 bill updates the DARE Act of 2020. Work on the bill began in April 2022 with the Hogan Lovells law firm engaged to draft it. And the SCB executive director, Christina Roll, said, once passed, DARE 2023 will be among the most advanced pieces of digital asset legislation in the world and will align with the Bahamas' commitment to facilitating development and innovation in a well-regulated environment. The bill expands the scope of regulated businesses activities to include digital asset advising and management, derivative services, node services, and staking. It sets requirement for exchanges systems and controls and regulates custodial wallets and initial token offerings. That sounds wonderful to me. What does it sound like to you? Please let me know your thoughts. And let's go all the way down south and let's talk about Argentina. Okay. Bitcoin, although Bitcoin's price is around 29,000 as of today, or 28, high 28 to low 29s. The Bitcoin price in Argentina has hit a new record high because the Argentino's peso has crashed by 99% versus the dollar since the beginning of their currency crisis in 2018. Okay. The BTC to ARS, which is Argentina, exchange rate crossed over 6.59 million ARS, according to aggregated price data by Google Finance. So one Bitcoin is 6 million Argentina pesos as compared to just $29,000. Okay. Because that currency has gotten so beat up because of inflation, Bitcoin's growth in the Argentina market coincides with a continuous currency devaluation. For instance, traders were paying as low as 460 ARS to buy $1 from the black market on April 24th, Tuesday. That was more than double the official spot rate that pays 220 ARS for the dollar. If you're in Argentina, since your currency is crashing, it might be a really, 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 really good idea to buy Bitcoin, to invest in Bitcoin, to have Bitcoin. And this is why Bitcoin is important, because of governments that are making their people poor, But, let me know your thoughts on Argentina. And it's a beautiful country, and it's a shame to see their currency crash like that, But we have to move on. So moving on, let's go to somewhere called the European Union, okay? The EU watchdog warns of a hell scenario for US AI companies. So this isn't crypto per se, this is AI. And it's the European Data Protection Service supervisor has predicted trouble abroad and at home for US AI companies that run afoul of GDPR. So they're trying to protect the GDPR here. Europeans data watchdog Wojciech Wojciechowski predicts a sour predicament for US-based artificial intelligence companies currently being investigated for alleged general data protection regulation violations. During a recent interview, Wojciechowski told the MIT Technology Review that the fast pace of development in the AI space means data protection regulators should be prepared for another scandal, invoking the Cambridge Analytica situation for reference. I'm going to say this name wrong again. Wojciechowski comments come after a tumultuous week for a leading AI outfit, OpenAI, creator of the GPT suite of products and services. The company's suite of services has been outright banned in Italy, pending further information about its intent and ability to comply with GDPR, with similar actions pending in Ireland, France, and Germany. According to the EU data watchdog, OpenAI currently finds itself between a European rock and a US hard place. As regulators in the EU look to crack down, US lawmakers could be eyeing the European prescription as a possible local template, they said. All right, so that's a warning. And a warning. All right, well, that wasn't crypto, but crypto is affected because there are some wonderful projects in crypto AI. And I think my audience should find out what they are. As always, do your own research. I won't shill you a coin. I won't have regulators coming after me and saying, hey, man, what's going on, man? Nah, they can do their jobs and I can do mine. And let's talk about the United Kingdom because of that. So, not because of that, because I want to. UK, the UK Treasury seeks to input on taxing DeFi, staking, and lending. The tax treatment of lending and borrowing on DeFi protocols could soon be changed in the UK, as the taxation arm of the Treasury is seeking input on possible new regimes. On an April 27 consultation by HM Revenue and Customs, that'll run until mid-June, and ask for investors, actually until June 22nd, and ask for investors, professionals, and firms engaged in DeFi activities, along with representative bodies and think tanks, to submit their views on the government's proposed DeFi tax treatment. Under the proposed legislative changes, crypto used in DeFi transactions wouldn't be treated as a disposal for the purposes of tax, which usually trigger a capital gains tax event. Instead, CGT would apply, and a taxable event would occur when cryptocurrencies are disposed of in a non-DeFi transaction. Well, that's cool. So you can do all DeFi you want and not get taxed, but then when you bring in the fiat, you get taxed. That actually makes sense because you're moving stuff within your portfolio to yourself. And that's not taxable. So it'll take time. to digest, but this bill that where they're seeking on guidance is clear preference to options. They agree it needs to be changed, and another call for evidence. They're looking for evidence. People who don't understand this stuff always look for evidence, but hey, who might say that they don't know it? They're asking for guidance. So please give them guidance. If you're in the UK, opportunity to provide guidance. And so let's go to Belgium. Okay. I don't talk much about Belgium, but Belgium's a country in Europe. A Belgian crypto platform, Bit4You, suspends operations after coin loan halts activity. Okay. Belgian crypto trading platform Bit4You, what's with the number 4 and U as in YOU, has suspended all operations, including withdrawals, amid an insolvency investigation of one of its key partners. Okay. The company explained the freeze in a blog post, claiming it was necessary action to protect platform users and citing regulation against Coin Loan, a partnering crypto loan service based in Estonia. Estonian regulatory authorities issued a stop order on Tuesday, prohibiting Coin Loan from processing or releasing assets without the express consent of an appointed temporary insolvency practitioner. This prohibits the platform from moving, releasing, or disposing of assets or otherwise processing transactions without such permission. How's that going to go? Let me know your thoughts. Yeah, okay. So we are going to go to France. Okay. We have a lot of Europe today. I've been neglecting to have a lot of Europe, but today we have some good Europe stuff. So France mulls fast-tracking registered crypto firms to new EU rules. A fast-track option for licensed crypto firms in France is to be regulated under the upcoming Markets in Crypto Assets MiCA laws. That's been mulled over by the country's financial regulator. In a statement last week, this is last week, but after my show last week, the French Financial Markets Authority welcomed the approval of MiCA and outlined how French regulation will proceed during the transitory period over the next 18 months. A key focus for the AMF will be guiding the switch over to MiCA regulation for French providers of digital asset services, called PSANS, PSANS. The AMF stated that it's currently weighing up fast-track options for these firms so they can be compliant with MiCA regulations as soon as possible. In terms of MiCA compliance, the AMF is looking to plug the gap relating to aspects such as fund provision, regulations of crypto firms, conflict of interest policies, and the alignment of requested documents under AMF and MiCA regulations. How's that going to go? For my friends in France, for my listeners in France, how's that going to go? Let me know your thoughts. And like I said, we are going to go to and stay in Europe because we have some more news in Europe. Europe's a good day for Europe. Bitcoin at banks. I'm not even going to pronounce this one. Raiffeisen Landesbank to offer crypto investment services. Well, I'm learning a new language today. Doing all good. Let's see. Wow, cool. Raiffeisen Landesbank Niederösterreich, Wien, an Austrian cooperative banking company founded in 1900, is preparing to launch crypto investment services in collaboration with the Austrian crypto firm Bitpanda. According to a joint announcement yesterday, we're just going to call them RLBNO Wien. That's my short name for the bank. That's their short name too. Plans to provide its customers with a broad range of cryptocurrencies through Bitpanda software as a service, SaaS, offering. Crypto investment will be featured alongside investment services for stocks, exchange-traded funds, precious metals, and commodities. The deal with Bitpanda aims to expand product range with innovation, secure facet, and have all customers easily accumulate wealth. Well, that part, yeah. We'll see. A part of the major Austrian banking group, Raiffeisen Bank International is moving into crypto with their new planned offerings. That sounds promising. That sounds good. How do you think it's going to go? I'm not going to pronounce that company one more time. Let me know your thoughts. And then Romania. Romania is to launch a national NFT marketplace. Sotheby's auction house is set to sell NFTs that are part of a collapsed crypto hedge fund, Three Arrows Capital's digital collection. They're going to sell that collection. So Romania plans to drive Web3 adoption in the country using NFTs. It plugs into the marketplace. The National Institute for Research and Development in Informatics, known as ICI Bucharest, has announced it would launch an institutional NFT platform to drive Web3 adoption in the country. According to Paul Nicoluscu Mizil George, ICI Bucharest Policy Laboratory Coordinator, NFTs have become valuable assets for institutions due to their innate capability of creating unique and scarce assets. He said this applied to numerous use cases. And then, so this is a highlight of what's going on. So there's two different things are going on over here in Romania, but Sotheby's is also going to sell 3 Hours Capital digital portfolio, and it includes a zombie CryptoPunk, an Autoglyph, and the Golden Goose, which was bought by 3AC founders. So this article was combining two things into one. So number one, Sotheby's will auction off part of 3AC's digital art collection. And number two, Romania is launching a national NFT marketplace. And all these is provided to us by the Nifty newsletter. Check them out. They have a lot of really amazing articles here at the Nifty newsletter. And let's see if there's anything else they want to talk about Romania. Romania. So the NFTs there with ICI Bucharest, the institution began developing and implementing marketplace systems architecture in partnership with Multiverse X midway through 2022. And the partnership includes the development of a DeFi, a decentralized domain name system, and top-level domain ecosystem, as Multiverse X has explained in their press releases. And so that's awesome. So there's a couple really cool things that are going on in Romania. All right, let's go, Romania. You go on with your bad self. Go on with your bad self. Let me know your thoughts about Romania. And so we're going to go to Asia. Thank you, Europe, for an amazing set of news. I appreciate everything that you've done this week for crypto. And I interview for my Crypto Hipster podcast. I've interviewed a number of really amazing guests from all over Europe. And I'm looking to interview more. So if you're in Europe and you have a pulse on regulations, a pulse on expansion, adoption in crypto and blockchain in your region or globally, I'm happy to interview you. And my audience is more than happy to listen to you. And see you as the thought leader that you are. Thank you. China is on the docket right now. China's wave of ChatGPT rivals, Alibaba, goes multi-chain. Alibaba went multi-chain. Okay, so let's look at what happens here. On April 26th, Ant Financial, an affiliate of Chinese e-commerce conglomerate Alibaba, announced during its annual Digital Technologies Developer Conference it would officially open source its cross-chain protocol, Ant Chain Bridge, to developers worldwide. The Ant Chain Bridge was designed based on the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, the IEEE, standard for blockchain interoperability, one of the first standardized communication protocols in this category. Yan Ying, a technical director of AntChain, said that cross-chain technology is essential to unlocking the full potential of Web3 and would allow for large-scale transferring of digital assets. Developers can access its cross-chain systems using smart contracts by downloading the cross-chain plugin on the AntChain Open Lab GitHub repository page. Cool. Yeah, that's the way to expand. Let me know your thoughts on that. Alibaba is going multi-chain. Alibaba is a competitor to Amazon. Will Amazon go on-chain and multi-chain? That's a question for you. What do you think? Or do we need to build a DAO to replace them? I'm not against that. Okay. Now, speaking of DAO, blockchain and crypto lenders converged at the DAO Tokyo as Japan increases adoption. Japan's regulatory and political environment for crypto and Web3 technologies has been evolving rapidly over the past several years. The Financial Services Agency of Japan reported in December 22 it planned to lift restrictions on foreign issued stablecoins in Japanese exchanges, which could have significant implications for the decentralized finance ecosystem in Japan and the wider region. Furthermore, the Japanese government announced that it plans to invest in non-fungible tokens and the metaverse. And that highlights the increasing recognition of the potential of Web3 technologies to transform various sectors of society and the economy. Of the backdrop of these strides for blockchain, industry insiders from around the world gathered at the Kanda Myojin Shrine in Tokyo for DAO Tokyo 2023, a conference that was focused on decentralized autonomous organizations and organized by Fracton Ventures. There were incredible speakers in the DAO ecosystem there, and yeah. Why is Japan going to win? Why is Japan and all these other countries in Asia adopting and adapting for blockchain technology, and some countries like the United States are not and want to be left behind? Why is that? Let me know your thoughts on Japan. Hong Kong. Hong Kong regulator requires banks to open accounts for crypto firms. Okay, good news. Keep going with good news here. The Hong Kong Monetary Authority, the region's central banking institution regulator, has called on banks to provide services to crypto firms. This morning, actually last night, yesterday, whatever. The HKMA issued a circular related to the access of corporate crypto customers to banking services. In the document, the regulator has required authorized institutions referred to as owls. I don't know. My eyes need some checking. I'm going to the doctor in 2 weeks and have my eyes checked. To adopt a risk-based approach in anti-money laundering efforts. The HKMA also urged the institutions in Hong Kong to pay attention to market developments and take a forward-looking approach to new sectors like crypto. Hong Kong Central Bank has specifically required the institutions to help virtual asset service providers in getting banking services by saying, owls should endeavor to support VASPs, licensed and regulated by the Securities and Futures Commission, on their legitimate need for the bank accounts in Hong Kong. The regulator stressed that customer due diligence measures should be proportionate to the level of risk of customers in order not to create an undue burden on the customers. Thank you, Hong Kong, for taking an approach that requires that you look at your 100-year-old laws and make changes that are appropriate to today. Thank you. Major League Baseball did that. Actually, Major League Baseball, is a lot shorter now because they looked at the laws and looked at the rules and the pitch clock. How does that apply to crypto? It can apply in many ways. It's up to you, and I want to know your thoughts. Let me know, okay? And so we're going to go to South Korea. South Korea's sweeping crypto bill passes its first regulatory hurdles. More good news. South Korean legislatures passed a first phase review of proposed regulations that would give the nation's Financial Services Commission authority to investigate and supervise financial activity related to digital assets, including cryptocurrencies. The proposed bill comes with a myriad of stipulations governing the sale, storage, and trading of crypto, with particular emphasis on consumer protection and compliance reporting. Hwang Suk-jin, a member of the ruling People Power Party's Digital Asset Special Committee, which is a handful and a mouthful, told media outlet Forecast that both the ruling and opposition parties have agreed on the matter. They agreed. The ruling and opposition parties have agreed on the matter. Let me say it again. The ruling and the opposition parties have agreed on the matter before suggesting the legislation would become law by the end of the year. I would love to see Republicans and Democrats in the United States of America agree. That would be something else. It's what government's supposed to do. Okay. If passed, the bill would become one of the most sweeping pieces of national cryptocurrency legislation in existence. It would require exchanges and similar service providers to separate internal holdings from the user assets. Wow, that would be a wonderful thing. That would have been a wonderful thing with FTX, Celsius, Voyager, BlockFi, Rocket Ship, whatever you want to say. That would have been amazing. It would require that. And providers to separate them and carry insurance and maintain reserves in the event of non-market related losses. Beautiful. Central bank digital currencies and assets tied directly to the Bank of Korea are the only reported exceptions. Why? Because it's deflationary? I don't know. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts on that. And we're going to go to Africa for one final article of the day, of the week, for this 37th amazing episode of The X Factor with the Crypto Hipster. And Zimbabwe's central bank to issue gold-backed digital currencies. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe plans to introduce a gold-backed digital currency as legal tender in a bid to stabilize its local currency. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is set to introduce that, a gold-backed digital currency to serve as legal tender in the country. So imagine Peter Schiff, instead of being against Bitcoin, bashing Bitcoin, saying, you know what, let my gold back Bitcoin, then people wouldn't have to post pictures of him as a dinosaur on Twitter anymore. You know, imagine that. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is set to introduce the bill. The move is a government initiative to stabilize local currency from continued depreciation against the dollar. According to a report from local media outlet The Sunday Mail, the move will allow small amounts of Zimbabwean dollars to be exchanged for the digital gold token, enabling more Zimbabweans to hedge against currency volatility, which is what Bitcoin does really well. Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe Governor John Mangudya said the plan intends to leave no one and place no one behind. So they're not going to have this $10 million accredited investor tag, which they try to change, you know. So they're going to say no one gets left behind, which is important. Very important. Let me know your thoughts on that, on leaving people behind or including people in the future. Zimbabwe's currency trades 1,001 ZWL against $1 US, but it's typically exchanged for 1,750 ZWL in the streets of Harare, the country's capital. The country's annual consumer price inflation reached a one-year low in March of 87.6%, down from 92% in February. So it's a low, and it's an 87.6% inflation. Think about that. What if your eggs, instead of costing $6 at your local store, cost $55? Yeah, that's something else. So, yeah, that's what I got for today for you. I have one last new piece of news, and this is a plug I do every week until the end of May. On May 25, there's a conference. It's put on Black Arrow Conferences in Jakarta, Indonesia, called Black Jakarta. It can be found on blackarrowconferences.com. If you're in the area, if you're in Jakarta, Indonesia on May 25, I have seen the speaker lineup. It's amazing. I've seen the topics. They're amazing. And the Crypto Hipster podcast is a proud sponsor of this event. So that's a wrap for this week on the Crypto Hipster X Factor with the Crypto Hipster. I hope that you enjoyed the show, and thank you very much for tuning in. And we're here each and every Friday morning, bringing you crypto and blockchain news around the world. Thank you.